I am live with 10 seconds to spare in the nick of time. Da, da, da. Here I am to save the day. G'day Antonio, Denver, Battube, and M. Ryman. Amir, I'm in Sydney. with an I, Sydney. That famously, if you hear a Sydney sider use that pronunciation, like Sydney, I can't remember exactly how. That comes from Juan Antonio Samaranch. I think he's dead now. He used to be the head of the International Olympic Committee, and in the when we won the 2000 Olympics, he famously announced, you know, when they're announcing the winners, he famously announced the winner is Sydney. And he totally the butchered the pronunciation. So I think on the front page of the newspaper the next day it was actually spelt like that or something. It was so funny. So yeah, yes, us Aussies make a joke about Sydney. Sydney? I don't know, can somebody find the clip? And the winner is Sydney. It's great. How's it doing down under? Well, it's doing. Whacked man in the house. Ulf again. Good night from Sweden. Daniel, Gabrielle, T Black, what's up? Caps Lock. Ian Scott Johnson's in the house again, fellow creator. If you're not subscribed to Ian, go and subscribe to his channel. Rest Cure. Yep, March 12th already. I've got that. Yep, March this week. I did get the date correct. Unlike last week when I said it was February. And I wondered why people in the chat were saying I'm in a time machine or something. And I didn't get it until 2 hours into the stream. And then I realised I had the wrong date. So yes, I'm in Sydney, I'm here. Not in Melbourne. I must live in Melbourne. Shit weather in Melbourne. Then again, we've just had 3 weeks of rain here. 3 weeks of constant rain. I just rode my bike in this morning and yesterday as well. I should have ridden in Thursday, but I was still scared. I was still traumatized after 3 weeks of constant rain. I don't know. Can anyone, someone give me a fact check, live fact check? Is this the most amount of continuous rain that Sydney's ever had? Because I've lived here my entire life and I can't remember having 3 weeks straight. I think it was 3 weeks. Maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe it was 2 weeks. But, geez. Ah, man. Hey, Pedja from Serbia. Dave Cunningham. Patrick. Oh, not the Shane Warne thing again. Looks like Ulf. Looks like a pair of Swedish Ulfs. Is Ulf the equivalent to David in the Sweden? Ulf. Everyone's called Ulf. Catalan from Germany. Christian. Yeah. Yes. Paul Daniels does pop in very regularly to the live stream. Rain, that's not rain. Come to Scotland. Yeah, I know. Oh, no, we had massive floods here. Yeah. Yep. Heinrich, which project am I working on right now? None. I'm always just thinking of working on projects rather than working on them. I am thinking of, once again, making content. Like a paid course kind of thing. Good evening from the nether regions. Washington, get a lot of rain. Denmark, used to have 2 weeks of rain. Don't worry. Yeah, well, see, it's not common here. Well, Australia, the famous poem, Australia, the land of droughts and flooding rain. Yeah, if it isn't a drought, it's a flood here. But yeah, I don't remember 2 weeks of constant rain here in Sydney. I think Big Clive's been in once or twice. I think Big Clive has been here before. Do I like programming? I used to like programming. I went through a phase where when I was like late teens, was it? I sort of hardly did any electronics at all, and it was just like I just got into programming, and I was just even into my early 20s. Yeah, I did a lot of programming. Like a friend and I would have programming contests, you know, to see who could come up with, like, you know, the tightest code. I won. You know, and it's like, oh, AC's too loud today. Oh, does everyone want me to sweat, do they? Yeah, I know, it's annoying. There you go. I will suffer for my art. I'll suffer for the art. The art of setting up a proper lab. Punch cards. Yeah, thanks, Michael. Programming is cool. Yeah, and then I sort of, you know, yeah, like, you know, programming was cool. It was fun. I don't know. I wouldn't say fun anymore. Like, you know, I don't just go and code for the fun of it. No, it's a means to an end, I guess, these days. In college, every time I asked someone why they picked EE, their answer often involved the phrase, I hate programming. See, when I went to university, right, I'd ask people, why are they doing EE, right? Like, I don't know. Like, my parents wanted me to do something. Oh, my friend did it, so I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like, this was like 95% of people, like, just had no passion for it at all. I was stunned. I thought, you know, geez, if you're going to go study this, you would, like, you'd have a passion for it. But no. It was me, mate of mine who I talked about, and, like, virtually nobody else. It was just, maybe it's different these days, but, you know, this is before the internet, right? So, you know, people didn't, like, you know about these things, and yeah, it was just, man, yeah, because if you were passionate about this sort of stuff, you know, you had to grow up a hobbyist, right? You had to read the magazines, you had to find the magazines in the newsagent, you know, and that's the only way you got into it. Or, you know, maybe you had a school thing, but when I was a boy, we never had anything at school. So, you know, or maybe you had some local club or something, or your parents did it or something. But yeah, like, now it's just, you know, there's just hundreds of YouTube channels, hundreds of engineering channels, you know. It's like everyone's exposed to it now. It'll just magically pop up in your feed somewhere eventually, if you're blessed by the algorithm. But yeah, Heinrich didn't hear the aircon at all. No, I tried that. I didn't include that in my video. Volodymyr. I didn't. What a name. Unpronounceable by any Westerner. And yeah, I tried that, but it didn't. I was trying to prune the video down, so there was all sorts of other stuff I didn't include in the video, and that was one of them. It was, yeah, I physically tried to take it out. No, it just sits there and blinks. It's just, will the chip shortage end soon? No, it will not. End of story. Yep, my favorite programming language is solder. Yep. "35 years back, I wrote 6502 code. Right now, I borrow PHP." Yeah, well, that sounds like me programming these days. You know, I just steal code from somewhere and modify it. You know, yeah. Hey, Daryl, Tewksbury's in the house. Hey, Daryl. How you doing, mate? If you don't know, Daryl has been on the Amp Hour. Daryl donated the huge laser thing that you've seen. Go to the Amp Hour, search for Daryl Tewksbury, and that's a great Amp Hour episode. It was really fun. Talked about all laser projection stuff. So highly recommended. You go check that out. The podcast of the day recommendation. Then again, if you want another recommendation number 2, which I haven't listened to the full show yet, is Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast was on Joe Rogan, and it was like, holy shit. I had no idea that he spent like, what was it? Like a year or 2 years. All they did, or him and like 3 friends of his, all they did was for like 10 hours a day, at least, more, like 15 hours a day or something. All they did was study the algorithm. That's all they did. Studied the algorithm, trial and error. They did this for a couple of years. No wonder he's got like 100 million subs or whatever, and he just kills it every single time. I thought he just like got sort of like, his channel, just like a regular YouTuber. He became popular. One of his videos went viral because the algorithm, blessed him or whatever, and then he just chose nice thumbnails and stuff. And I had no idea he actually actively studied this for a couple of years. Like, that's all they did. They spent their entire day just full time just studying the algorithm. I had no idea. Wow. And apparently his 3 friends, that they all have like tens of millions of subscribers. I don't know who they are. I'm not into that genre. But yeah, Mr. Beast, holy crap. Yes, Dave is shorthand for David. Never really liked David. Everyone's Dave. I recently switched languages. You recently switched to an Ursa Icon Nano programming language. Nice. Yeah, I used to write my own games. You can still find them somewhere. Yep. Oh yeah, tell me if that fails again, by the way. If that fails, put F in the chat. If this thing resets itself, although I should be able to hear it. It's near enough, I should be able to hear it reboot. So if it locks up or resets, let me know. I have no idea what the Miniware MDP XP is. They release so much stuff, don't they, these days? It was just a soldering iron. Chose computer science. Big mistake, huh? Big mistake, Hemp Bear. Yeah. Why was it a big mistake? Do I watch the Twitch chat? Yes, I do. Hi to all people, the 5 people watching on Twitch, I can tell you. 2 people watching on Twitch. Yeah, because I'm using StreamYard, and StreamYard pulls in the Facebook. There's 8 people watching on Facebook, 2 people watching on Twitch, and 170 people watching on YouTube, and it pulls in the comments. So I can just overlay your comment from Twitch. Isn't that cool? Hang on. Did my Odysee stream start? Yep, started 14 minutes ago. There you go. Based EE from down under. Mindforge. Thank you very much. Mines Forge. Uni is sad. Yeah. If I'm ever in the position to hire, I'd filter out college grads. Yeah. F. Somebody's put an F in the chat. It hasn't failed. Nah, I think you're trolling me. I will only accept 10 Fs in a row. Typing in those. Yes, I used to type in the code from magazines. You used to get hex code Yeah, like it originally started out basic code, and then basic code, it took up too much space in the magazine, so then they started to put like hex code. And I can remember typing in the hex codes, just to get a exe program. I would use MS debug or whatever. Was it MS debug? And you could, or you save it to a text file first, didn't you? And then you could use MS debug to convert the hex text file into an executable, I think. Geez, that's stretching my memory. Oh God. I don't do any commercial work, Philip. I gave up doing commercial work 9 years ago. It's a long time. It's been a long time since I've done any commercial work. I just don't have to. So why would I want the stress and the pressure and the time sink of doing commercial work? It's just no. I get enough income from the YouTubes that this is my full-time business. Audio is out of sync. Well, that's your end, Christian. I can assure you it's not my end. I'll catch up to the chat again. Nah, hey Davo. Is there an upcoming repair video? No. Nope. Unless this thing like completely dies in the ass. Yeah, it's bullshit. Although I did get Amazon to take action. I actually got Amazon to take action. Wow. They pulled some of the... They should have banned them outright. But they removed some of the... only from one model, though. I think only from the 550 Turbo did they remove hundreds of old reviews. So, yeah, but hats off to Amazon. They did actually at least take action. Wow. Get out there and fight for your freedom. Liberty or death. Before your country becomes North Korea. Whose country? You talking about Australia? Although that's every country. Canada. It's every country these days. Am I lip syncing? Audio is about 100 milliseconds late on YouTube. Well, yeah. Some people say it isn't a problem. So it's all, every time somebody says this, there's audio sync problems, it's always their side of things. So I don't know how they do they distribute audio and video separately? Like stream them to people separately and then it combines on your browser? I don't know how it works. What's an Australian's opinion? What is an Australian? I don't know why you want an Australian's opinion, but okay. To repower EU. And I don't know what repower EU is. That I assume that's some new proposal to go back to fusion. Go back to fusion. I wish. Go back to, yeah, because you were shutting down all your nuclear plants. I think that's a pretty consistent. I think most countries that have nuclear power are like trying to abandon nuclear power in recent years, and now all of a sudden, ooh, we're going to go back to nuclear because Elon Musk said so. It's like one tweet from Elon Musk and the world changes. What's my opinion? I said this the other week. If you've already got nuclear power, stick with nuclear power. You're dumb to shut them down. I don't understand why you would, if you've already made the commitment and you have the resources and the knowledge and the infrastructure and everything in place, you've already done nuclear power. I don't know why you would shut it down. It just seems dumb to me. Whereas a country like Australia that doesn't have nuclear power, we don't have it. We don't have the expertise, we don't have the political will to do it. It's the NIMBY thing. NIMBY is not in my backyard, or or whatever the acronym is. It's a different story for countries who don't already have it. It's a bit of a tough one because we have so much alternative ways to actually produce energy here that we don't strictly need nuclear power here. I wouldn't be against it here, but yeah, nah, I don't. I just don't think it'll ever happen here. I don't, because as I said the other week, it's like 10 years. But when you decide, even if a government decides, right, we're doing nuclear power, end of story, we're putting our foot down, damn it, we're doing nuclear power, it's 10 years before you even get a plant online. And by that time, we've gone through 5 different prime ministers, and I'm not kidding, right? 5 different prime ministers, different bloody governments and stuff, and it'll never happen. I don't think it'll ever happen. There's just not enough desire for it, I guess. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. You have the same microscope at work. You're talking about the Tagano, or you're talking about the Mantis? I'm thinking about. I was going to. I might tweet this later. I want to get a traditional like flipping magnifying lamp. What's the latest? What's the best go-to brand? Is it still your genuine Maggie lamp? Like, is it a Maggie brand? You know, what's the best brand for a swell? I don't know if I've got, because my layout's kind of like I'm near the edge here, and I've already got my Mantis here, but I want a swing-in large magnifying lamp. And because like I've got kick-ass gear here. I've got absolutely kick-ass gear. The Tagano microscope's phenomenal. The Mantis microscope, absolutely phenomenal. But, you know, horses for courses, right? Sometimes I don't want to work, I want to work 3D optically, but I don't want the Mantis because its field of view is, you know, it's a little bit like, it's great if you're just doing small detailed work, but if you just, you know, like sometimes I just want to do like slightly larger stuff, and I just want to swing in a magnifying, like I've got a times 10 macro lens here, which I can, you know, then just like inspect like that without having to switch the Mantis on and bring it in and adjust it and all that sort of stuff. I can just go check a single joint or something like that, you know. And yeah, what is the best go-to brand? Scroll in the chat, catch up in the chat. YouTube's struggling to sync audio now that I talked about it. Really? Is more people getting the problem? Luxo, yeah, Luxo would be the other. Maggie is your traditional one, or are they owned by Luxo or vice versa now? I don't know. Are they the same thing? Yes. Luxo and Maggie would be the 2 name brands that I've heard of. Like, is there anything else that's like... audio amplifier design. I'm not really into that. Max, if you want audio amplifier design, head over to Rod Elliott's webpage. Just search for Rod Elliott Sound Products, which I got to contact. Have to get him on the blog. He's got the best website for everything audio design. The guy's the audio design guru. Like, just go to his website. It's got everything there. There's no, yeah, I just don't have any interest in audio design, really. So the answer to that's no. So Luxo, hi from Romania. Solar freaking tunnels are the future. Yay. Getting a little clip in. There's no way you're getting clip in. There's no way you're getting, I can see the VU meter right here. I've got a giant VU meter. It's coming, you'll get clip in. You'll get clip in now. Clip in now. But sorry for that if anyone's using headphones. Getting stutters on YouTube and Odysee. Well, okay, maybe it's the interwebs. Oh, okay, there's nothing I can do about it from my end, apart from restart. You got a Toolcraft magnifier and helping hands. No, I want something that's, yeah, I do know the one you're talking about. No, I want a big proper swinging arm, like big one with a proper, yeah, a nice lights in them, not a cheap piece of shit. I would certainly pay you know, many hundreds of dollars for a nice swing-in lamp. But yeah, I don't. Unfortunately, like, and I've got my I've got another thing here for my light and everything, and it's just, yeah, I don't know how I'll swing it in, but damn it, I want one. I don't know. Like, I'm really in like a small, like, this actually reminds me of my old lab in the garage. Like, it's about the same amount of room, you know. Used to have the camera there, I'd sit here. No, it's slightly wider. But yeah, just Maggie lamp. Okay, so Maggie or what was it? Luxo. By the way, I'm only going to do 2 hours today. I don't want to go overboard. So anyway, whose website? Rod Elliott. Rod Elliott. Elliott Sounds Products. Is that the one you're talking? Elliott Sound Products. Is that the one you're talking about? Me Too clip-in. Other people have got clip-in. Ah, clip-in is the audio jittering. Yeah, okay, right. So I don't think there's anything I can do about it. Is it that bad? Is it perfect audio video here in Scotland? There you go. So, right, I don't, yeah. Hey, from Romania, Blues back in tracks over on Odysee. Odysee just announced this morning, just 10 minutes before the stream, that they're going to have a subscription Patreon-like service that takes 0% cut. Wow. Wow, that's going to be big. Your polarization video was interesting. When I first took apart a calculator, I couldn't see the digits. Then I took the polarization layer off. Yeah. Made me think of the movie They Live. They Live. I just tweeted this last night. I just discovered, after decades of marriage, that Mrs. EEEVBlog has not heard of They Live. She has not seen nor heard of They Live. This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. Now that you've talked about it, it's gone away again. There you go. So, yep. It's crackling. It's clicking, not clipping. See, audio out of a sync, 100 milliseconds. Like, there's nothing I can do about it. I don't, seriously. Although, I do have something added here. So let me instantly, I'm going to click 2 buttons here. Let me know if this fixes it. So I'm talking, I'll continue to talk as I remove. Oh, no, hang on. Oh, I thought I could remove. Okay, yes, I have removed 2 things that might make a difference. Did it make a difference? Just then, instantly. Roddy Piper. Yeah, Rowdy Roddy Piper. You betcha. Tony Robb, you've never heard of They Live. You have no doubt heard the line, I'm here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum. That's an Aussie ass, not an American ass. Yeah. Yes, I know. It's definitely not my, well, I don't know. I just wanted to click on, I was playing around with something before in StreamYard here. Because I just realized StreamYard had a dual camera feature. Like, watch this. I have the tools. I have the talent. Look at this. Look at this. I have the tools. I have the talent. Obey. 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 Subliminal. I'll pop up, obey, obey, obey. Duke Nukem. Oh man, I spent many years playing Duke Nukem. Come get some. Shake it, baby. Hopefully she can get through the fight scene, yeah. Yeah, probably the best fight scene ever. Really? Like, you've got, if your content's bigger than 5 gig, I see you do whiteboard tutorials. Electron Wrangler. Seriously, compress them. 5 gig. I can do a 1 hour plus. I can do a 1 hour plus video, and it's well under 5 gig. You just got to compress it using Handbrake. You've just got to compress it. Like for your, I assume you're doing like talking head whiteboard style things, same as I do by your thumbnail there. Talking head whiteboard, they will compress really quite well because it's mostly static image and it's just you moving around, waving your arms around, walking back and forth, whatnot, and it's going to compress really well. So a 5 gig, you should not have to upload a 5 gig video. There's no way you should have to do that. So yeah, retry Odysee and do Handbrake first. Or when they auto pull the video over, it just pulls over. It pulls over my hour long. It pulls over these streams. It pulls over these live streams, right? These live streams, no problems whatsoever, and they're 3 hours long sometimes. So. Oh, somebody asked before, how are Odysee going to collect money if they take no cut? Well, they have just announced that, if you go to my Odysee channel now, you'll see that I've got a little badge next to me. I've got like a little gold badge. Yeah, I can show you. Once again, I have the tools, I have the talent. I have this little gold badge down here. See it? I'm a Premium Plus member. Odysee have just released, just the other day, a Premium Plus membership. And yeah, I'm Premium Plus. So that's like $4 a month or something for the premium. I think it's 99 cents a month for the regular. And all that money goes to them. That doesn't go to the creator. So that's just to get a badge. No. So that is just to get a badge. That's just to get like a badge, and you get early access to new features and stuff like that. So that's, if you like Odysee as a platform, you can effectively donate to them by this Premium Plus thing. That does not go to the subscriber, so they get all the money from that premium feature. So I reckon they're counting. So they've done this cool, they've done this thing where it looks like this is a strategy on their part, right? It looks like they're trading off. It looks like they're trading off. They're giving 100% of the money from the subscription. 100% of money from the subscription service to the creator, right? So that's how they're going to differentiate themselves from Patreon and everyone else, right? They take zero cut from that. But on the other hand, if you get a premium subscription like YouTube, the money does, like on YouTube, if you get premium subscription like I got, the money, like YouTube keep half of it or something, and then half of it goes to the creators, which is great, right? But Odysee have decided, no, we don't want that. If you want to support the platform, if you like the platform, you do the subscription to get the badge, you get the premium to get the badge, and then 100% of the money goes to them. But if you want to then support an individual creator, you do it at the individual level. So they've got no non-transparent secret squirrel algorithm that determines which creators get the money. That's how the Premium Plus works on the YouTubes. And it sucks. You don't know how much of your money is going to... And if you watch a video of somebody you hate, Like, because you want, because they're, I don't know, they're talking shit about you or something. You really hate them, but you had to watch the video because, I don't know, legal reasons or something. I don't know, right? You had to watch their video. Technically, and you've got premium membership, you're giving them money, right? you just don't know how much, but you are giving them some money. And that's so the approach that Odysee are taking is really quite smart, I think. It differentiates them, and 100% of the money that you give to a creator goes to the creator, right? Minus any processing fees for, the merchant fees. But that's usually only in the order of 1% or 2% or something. So that's a good plan. And then if you like Odysee as a platform, you support Odysee as a platform. I think that's a winning. I think that's a winning idea. I think that's a really good idea. They might put DRM on the videos. Better. Somebody else thinks. What work do they need to do? As far as I'm concerned, the only thing Odysee need to work on is the bandwidth thing. Because at the moment, it comes and goes, I'll get low bandwidth, it'll buffer, it'll, things like that. But apart from that, Odyssee's a killer platform. Odyssee's great. I love the way the comments work. I love the interaction. I love the, just the interface and stuff. It works. It's really nice. I don't know. I think they're total competition there. I think it's only a bandwidth thing. And forget about BitChute. It's gone completely. BitChute's just spiraling down a death spiral, and they won't ever recover. I tried to help them, but then they're never going to recover. So screw BitChute. Rumble, I don't know. I've had some uptake there on Rumble. My videos automatically go over there, but I don't use Rumble. So on a daily basis, I don't use it or watch it or read comments there. So I don't know. No idea. Yeah, well, you don't need it, Tristan. 4K footage, okay? I bet you're talking about outside footage, right? Footage that's moving, right? When the camera's moving, that does not compress well, okay? It does not compress well. But here, this video right now, this compresses very well. It's a static background image. So when it processes the compression frame to frame, there's hardly anything's changing. If you get like noise in the image or something, that causes it. Screen captures are incredible because literally not a single pixel changes. So the algorithm compresses screen captures like 10-to-1 over a regular video. But if you're just standing in front of a whiteboard, as the other guy was, then your videos are going to compress pretty well. But if you've got 4K footage and you've got it's probably outside or the camera's moving. If the camera's moving, right, then it's, it's hard, right? But if you're just doing talking head footage, it compresses really well. Thank you, Nick. The Dymo video seemed popular. Do YouTubers get any restriction from posting it in other sites? No. I'm surprised YouTube has not shut down the ability. Well, they probably can't, because my videos automatically get transferred over to Odysee, Rumble. Rumble does it through a direct integration with my YouTube channel. It actually gets permissions from my YouTube channel. So at any time, YouTube could revoke the ability of the Rumble app to work through YouTube. So it pulls the videos out directly, whereas Odysee does it a different way. I don't know how Odysee get the HD videos from my channel. I don't know. So, yeah. Dude, seriously, could you be any more clueless? Odysee is just for porn. I don't know if you're joking or not, but seriously, you couldn't be more clueless. Go and look at the top 100 channels. There's not a single porn channel there. There's tons of science and tech channels. When Odysee first started, I was like number 5 in the world. Veritasium was number 1, right? I think they still are. I think they're still the number 1 video chat. There's no porn. I like, maybe if you search for it. If you search for it, you can probably find it. But no, well, no, actually you shouldn't be able to, because it's against the terms and conditions. Odysee actually has terms and conditions. People don't realize this. And I think porn, go and look at the terms and conditions of Odysee, and I bet you it says pornographic material not allowed. Okay? It will be removed. I don't know if you're just trolling or just utterly clueless, Tommy. But seriously, Odysee is not not for porn. I don't get that. I think Odysee works great. I subscribe to my channels. Like, I don't use the front page. Like, my Odysee front page, because I'm logged in all the time, my Odysee front page is just the channels that I subscribe to. And then actually below that, if I want to, I can find other content. I can browse other content. But I basically use it to watch the channels that I'm subscribed for. And I'm subscribed to like a dozen plus different channels. And I just watch the content that pops up. I think the UI is great. Dude, sorry to hear that, Ryder. Don't go to that. It's not worth going to that extent, mate. Yep, just walk away, mate. Caught the stream from the old dart. Control Alt Tutor. Yeah, Tutor. Send that Dymo printer to the hydraulic press channel. Yeah, I can imagine, like, are they still a thing? I think I looked at them a couple of months back and they were still there. They were still doing stuff, but they blew up, man. They were the #1 thing on all of YouTube, the hydraulic press channel. Everyone was obsessed with the hydraulic press channel, got so much coverage. And then it just sort of, sort of just died away in everyone's public consciousness. Why don't I work on a really good UPS design? Because I don't give a shit about UPS design. I just don't care. I just buy a good brand one. Like, it's not like there's no good brands on the market. Can we talk electronics now? No, because you haven't asked me any electronics questions. Oh, Kirk is trolling. Yeah, I know the non-turbo version. Yep, they only removed thousands of comments on the turbo version. Yep, they didn't do the others. No, haven't sold a single flat yet with my new real estate business, with my new real estate license. YouTube have nailed discoverability. Yeah? I dare you to go start a news channel. Go and start a news channel on YouTube and find where you get ranked. You'll get algorithmically demoted because you're not an authoritative source. See you, Christian. This picture is coming through sharper on Odysee, looking at them side by side. Interesting. Maybe Odyssee's doing less native compression from the stream, because I am streaming direct from StreamYard to Odysee and to YouTube separately. So it's not pulling it from the YouTubes. Where do I see the comments that I am reading? You have to go, most of the comments are on YouTube. Most of the comments are on YouTube. I've got 197, I got 201 people watching on YouTube, 4 people watching on Twitch, and only 3 people watching on Facebook. So if you're watching and commenting on Facebook, like you are, Ben, then you're only going to see 3 comments. You're only going to see the Facebook comments. And unfortunately, StreamYard, there is no way. The #1 feature request, please, I want from StreamYard. #1 feature request is to be able to overlay the chat. I actually can do this. I can, well, there are ways I can overlay the chat. There are ways I can do it, but it's not, like I could, like, here we go. Hang on. Oh, no. Anyway, yeah, it is possible. I have manual ways to overlay the chat into the actual stream itself, but yeah. Somebody asked this before. I don't know what an MDPXP is. Oh, the power supply. Oh, okay. I looked at that years ago. I looked at that years ago. I don't know. It's the portable power supply. For those who don't know, it's the portable power supply thing. It's the Banggood. Sorry, it's available on Banggood, but it's portable power supply. When we were developing the micro supply, hang on. When we were developing the micro supply, I can solo that. Yeah, when we were developing the micro supply, this came out. This came out, and we freaked. we freaked, and then we realized, like, it isn't the same thing. It's not really the same thing. But I don't know. It seems a bit fidgety. Seems a bit, you know, if you compare it to the micro supply, right? There's the micro supply. Okay. There's the micro supply. And yep. Anyway, yeah, it has a niche need, but people haven't really been raving about it. So I don't know. I haven't actually got one. We thought about getting one to evaluate it and stuff, but then we just, yep, we just went, nah, doesn't matter. I don't know. I've never used it. If you need something like that, then by all means get it. It's probably the only thing on the market. What was my first computer? My first computer was a Tandy 1000. I've done a video on it. I designed and built a turbo board. Designed, built, and published a turbo board for the Tandy 1000. It was a turbo board adapter. Any channel who does not have their videos backed up outside of YouTube is an idiot. Serious, like there's just no reason. There's so many options. If you don't like Odysee, there are other platforms. Vimeo, Utreon. Utreon's does order full HD integration. Vimeo's paid, but like it's just there's options out there. I don't know why you wouldn't. You're a fool if you're a YouTube creator and you don't have it backed up somewhere. Mad. 5 minutes work, for goodness sake. No, nobody knows. Nobody knows. But obviously, the big channels stay big usually. So, yep. If anyone knew exactly how the YouTube algorithm worked, they would gain it for their own purposes. You can kind of like figure out what it's doing and stuff, but nobody actually knows. Yes, I do have a Facebook, but I don't use it. But my videos do go there. Once again, like I'm on all these platforms that I don't use personally. I don't use Facebook, right? Or rarely use it. Like I've got a personal account and I might check in once a month or something, right? But yeah, I don't use Facebook. Yet all my content's over there. I'm streaming there live now. I'm streaming to Facebook Live, right? Actually, I've got no people. Yes, I've got, yeah, hello to the one person watching me live on Facebook right now, right? 2 people. Nay and Aaron on Facebook, right? Yeah, it's just there's no reason not to be on these platforms. I'm on Rumble, I'm on BitChute. I don't use these platforms. In fact, I hate BitChute. But I don't know, there might be a couple of people who watch me over there. It takes 0 effort on my part. Not 1 minute of my time is spent ever thinking about freaking BitChute, right? But my content's over there, and that might, if people want to use it over there and watch me over there, and then they might, I don't know, follow me on Patreon, they might back me on Patreon or something like that. You never know. So, yeah, I don't get it. Was I, Tony? I was the first to make it clear that a hobbyist could make their own PCBs. Yeah, you certainly can. But there's no point these days. Like, I've got a new PCB partner, a new advertiser, sponsor's not the right word, a new advertiser on the EEEVBlog forum. They've got a deal. If you go to the EEEVBlog forum, their ad is down the bottom of the page. They paid for the ad down the bottom of the page, and they've got like a $1 deal. Like you can get a board for $5, and you get free or you get courier delivery to Australia for $1. It's like yeah, it's crazy. Take them up on the offer. It's madness, and they'll do a 4-layer board for $15. Like it's just. Can you look at the Odysee comments? Yeah, what am I looking at the Odysee comments for, Heinrich? Can I go in AliExpress and search new multimeter? You found some weird things. You've caught, yeah, nah, it's boring. Like there's a million different multimeters on AliExpress. It's millions of them. Can the micro supply do login? Only if you connect it up. We never enabled login inside. Technically, I guess it's got some internal memory. You could do it, but yeah, we didn't ever enable it inside. But you could stream via the USBs. You could do data logging. It actually has a full GPIB implement. It's not a GPIB port, but it has a full NXI command set in there, or whatever it's called. I don't know about the electric solder sucker, the Pros Kit electric solder sucker. No idea. Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, I think I stumbled across a video on that. I don't normally watch Linus videos, but I think it popped up somewhere. Yeah. I don't think all their video backups are gone. I don't think it's all. I think they lost some. But yeah, like, you know, me and my shitty little NAS here, right? I've never lost a single video in 12 years, right? Me and my shitty little NAS and a couple of hard drives backed up in 2 locations, right? I've never lost. I've also got cloud backup as well. Yeah, because they just shoot ridiculous, like 8K freaking footage. Like, it's just dumb. It's just dumb. They're just doing it because they can. I think it's totally stupid. There's absolutely no need for them to shoot, you know, using their $10,000 freaking Red cameras and shit like that. They don't do anything that warrants that. Nothing. They do nothing that a regular YouTuber with a regular camcorder can't do. Like, it's just so dumb. I don't get it. But they're a tech channel, so, you know, wank wank, right? You know, that's what they do. So, okay, fair enough. Building my own keyboard interface. Wonder about your fave microcontrollers for the task. The Teensy is nice, but interested. It doesn't matter what my favorites is. Use whatever works for you. I would use probably a PIC Micro, because that's what I've used for 2 decades, you know, but it just makes no difference. Yeah. Really doesn't. Am I going to bring back the 555 t-shirt? Isn't it on my Teespring store? I think it is, isn't it? There is no flooding in my area, no. I live in an area without... Most of Sydney isn't flooded. I mean, it's only certain areas. No, the micro supply. I think I released the schematic for it or something. No, source code. Source code's out there. Source code's on my GitHub somewhere. But I have no intention of finishing it off. Hey, is Fran here? Hey, Fran Blanche in the house. Do you know anything about solid-state high-capacity batteries in cars? No, I don't. I haven't researched that, I'm afraid. I haven't researched. Why? Are you doing a video? Is there a video planned for electric cars? You're thinking about getting one? Although, I don't think you'd need one, would you? Because you live and work in the same location, and your shop's a walking distance, isn't it? Your other shop, and you've got your motorbike. If you do want to travel somewhere, so I guess you don't need to. And you need a car spot. I take it that your new Fran Lab did not come with a car spot. I have done a specific video on that, Rainer Jubert. I will find it for you. It involves Mr. Bean. I wonder if I search in EEEVBlog Mr. Bean, will it pop up? No, it doesn't, because I didn't have Mr. Bean in the keywords. EEEVBlog professional. How to become a professional engineer. Here you go. Just for you, Ryder. Post in the comments, post in the comments. Yeah, I don't have, like 4K. I only shoot 4K on teardowns, on very specific teardowns. Like if it's like a really good one-off, you know, teardown that has lots of detail that people want to see, I'll shoot it in 4K. Otherwise, 1080. Otherwise, there's no point. There's no point. Like, why shoot a whiteboard in 4K? Why shoot just a technical review in 4K? I don't get it. All that Linus Tech Tips and most other channels, they shoot 4K because they can. Why? It's just dumb. Yeah, because you can crop in. Whoop-de freaking do. I mean, you know, it might be a big deal if you've got five full-time people who edit videos like they have at Linus Tech Tips. But, you know, but they shoot in 8K or something. Yes, it's okay to ask newbie electronics questions. I have a nice smile. Thanks for the great voice forever and ever. You try. I do have a nice smile. All the ladies like my nice smile. Yeah. I never fail to get a young, attractive lady to smile at me. They like smiles. Pro tip for the guys out there: the ladies like to smile. Apparently, like I've got a genuine like I'm always smiling. That's my thing. Like, you know, it's you know, I don't know, makes me approachable. No, I have not heard about that because I'm not into the PC stuff. I was decades ago. All right, Heinrich, I'm checking out your link. Keep your pants on. There you go. Yeah, check out that thing. Yikes. Yeah, you get some weird ass shit. Yeah. B-side. Is that the brand? B-side? Yeah. And I assume the lead level meter down there is a field tester, right? As a EF field tester, yeah? It's like, meh. He's a future-oriented electrical tester by the B-side brand designer. You'll be wearing it on the runway, on the catwalk. 2-inch smart display. Got capacitance test, the basis of X1. I love the Chinglish. Ah, look at it. Dual display. Come on. I mean, it's, you know. Oh, look, weigh it up against your manual range multimeter. It's got a flashlight too. It's got a flashlight built in. And then a EF stick. Yep, there you go. Yeah. There you go. It's a multimeter as well. Yeah. Wank, wank. And they're really built down to a price. If I was a pro and I was working out in the field, I wouldn't have one of those. I'd have a proper multimeter for doing proper multimeter work, and then I'd have a proper EF detection stick. This is a jack of all trades, master of none. Does the Takano microscope you have record as well? No, it does not. It does not record, but it has a HDMI output and a USB streaming output. So I can record, so I can just I can just switch it like this, and I can go over like this. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Nope. Hang on. What have I done? Oh no, what have I done? What have I done? Remove. Hang on. There. There. So yeah, so this is the HDMI output at the moment, and that goes into my Blackmagic ATEM. Goes into my Blackmagic ATEM. There you go. You can zoom in right on the key there. Look at that. Oh, sexy. And yeah, so that's HDMI output, but I can also stream via USB to my USB 3 straight into the PC, and I can stream that way as well. And then I have to have a manual recorder software, so I have to, you know. But I can record it to my ATEM. I don't need a computer. I can record it to the hard drive hooked up to the ATEM switcher if I want. And that's how I do my videos. That's how I do my Tagano microscope videos. I've got my camera up there, and it's all tied into the ATEM switcher that records to the hard drive, and I can go live with that as well. Fran was asking about that. You know, we were emailing before the show. She was talking about the ATEM switcher and stuff. I have looked at many snake oil devices. Ghost vocalizers. I haven't looked at any ghost stuff. That's just rubbish. Yes, you can ask newbie electronics questions, Doctor. Is it raining? I bloody well hope not, because I rode my bike today. I'm stranded if it rains. What's the time? 10 o'clock. I've got 55 minutes left. I better catch up. Yeah, but who needs 4K tutorial? Who needs a 4K whiteboard tutorial video? Right? Who? Like, it's just whatever. Like, I keep all my footage, right? Maybe if you don't plan on keeping all your footage, all your raw footage, fine, shoot in 4K, whatever. It slows down my PC with my DaVinci Resolve software. Can't edit 4K properly. It sucks, actually. I think I have to buy the paid version to get it to edit 4K properly. But I will shoot in 4K. If I'm doing a nice detailed teardown, I'll shoot it in 4K, just for everyone's benefit. I spent several decades in test engineering. Alex? Yeah, with hindsight, I probably shouldn't have. Right? It's boring. Versus test versus applications. Well, it depends on what you mean by applications. You're talking about becoming a field applications engineer, something like that. Well, you know, test versus applications. Like, they've both got their own things. It depends on what you're doing. Depends on the field you're in. Both can be. You can work on cool stuff for both. So, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Depends on what companies you've worked at. Am I switching away from DDG? What is DDG? I got a mental block. What is DDG? Okay, I'm like 5 minutes behind on the chat. The Tagano microscope is excellent, but it's like $4,000. It's very expensive. Nice, Dave. So my retro, I have a Rigol MSO 5000. Is there any benefit? Any benefit to what? The Rigol MSO 5000? That's pretty high-end scope. It's pretty high-end. That isn't cheap. So you've got a serious bit of kit there in the MSO 5000. I don't know if there's any... I don't know what your question is, though. I don't know how Dave 2's going. It's been like 6 months since I last heard from him, I think. We need to catch up. That was the plan. Yeah, see, a 4K, like, because I keep all my footage. I've got all my raw footage for every video right back to video number 1. Got all the raw footage. Maybe the odd one might have been lost in hard drive shuffles or something, but I've got all the raw footage of every single video I've ever made. And you just can't do that if you're shooting 4K for everything, especially if you're churning out a lot of content. Oh, right. Over Rygo, is there any benefit in getting the expensive logic analyzer or buy a basic logic analyzer instead? Mixed signal, I've done a video on this, the advantages of mixed signal scopes, and there are several advantages to mixed signal scopes because you can do the timing correlation between the analog channels and the digital, and that's on the same display, and that's, for many applications, that's really good. That's a really powerful benefit. But if you've already ponied up the money for an MSO 5000, then yeah, I would probably go for the built-in logic analyzer option. I don't know about their protocol decoders and stuff like that, but yeah, I don't know, you might have to pay an extra $1,000. Whereas, you know, you can go and buy a decent logic analyzer for like a few $100 that hooks up to your computer straight, and you know, but then you don't get the analog timing correlation. It's I don't know. It depends on the price, maybe. But if you can afford the money, but the value for money is better with the USB scope, I'd say. But then again, if you need to, you can't beat having it built in. Mike's Electric stuff in the house. Have you ever used any of your raw footage? Yes, I have. I've gone back several times and used some old. Although admittedly, mostly I go back and just use the edited version of the video. So I've also got a master folder where I've got every released video that I actually released. But at one point, though, I did get, because over the years, YouTube's changed a ton over the years, and I used to have to really compress the shit out of my videos before I uploaded to YouTube, or when I actually did the render as well, I would render them in such a low bit rate that it didn't do justice to the original footage. So at one point, I actually went back and because I used to, no, that's right. I used to do a master render. And then I would do a compressed render that then I would upload to YouTube, because I could only upload at 1 megabits per second or something. You know, it was, you know, dial-up days almost, right? And so I went back and I reprocessed all of those videos. But then again, that's not actual raw footage. But occasionally I have gone back and used raw footage, very occasionally. But I just like keeping it for the sake of keeping it, because I could decide that I'm going to go do an outtakes video or something like that, right? So I've actually got an outtakes video on my, if you subscribe to my Patreon, you'll get access to an outtakes video, and you know, and all that sort of stuff is in the raw footage. It's not in the edited version. So yeah, I just do it because I can, like, you know, just in case. I don't know. All the raw footage is there. And all it cost me is a few hard drives. I think I'm up to my fourth. I've got 4 hard drives, I think. So I've got eight hard drives, because I always have 2 different brand hard drives. So I back it up. I back all my raw footage up onto 2 different hard drives, and then I store them in 2 different locations. And they're 2 different brands, just in case there's something wrong with that brand. And I've got that all backed up. That's not backed up onto my NAS. Only the more recent videos are backed up on my NAS, the raw footage, but occasionally I go through and purge it all. Once I stored it on external hard drives, then I take it off my NAS. And then that would also come off my cloud storage as well. So once I go back far enough, then it only exists on 2 separate hard drives. But I do keep all that, and for the small cost of, you know, 2 hard drives holds hundreds of videos. You know, so the small cost, I don't, so yeah, I have occasionally used it, and I just think, why throw it out? I just think it's a shame, because you never know. One day you might go back and you wish, oh, I wish I had that raw footage. But at least, at the very, very least, keep the highest quality render that you got of the original video. Anyone who doesn't do that is an absolute idiot. It's just like I've heard of this happening. I've heard of this going, YouTube deleted my video or something, or I don't know, something happened and I didn't have a backup. You didn't have a backup of the file you uploaded to YouTube? Are you insane? Like, yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. Yep. Storage is reasonably cheap. Like, you know, I can understand if you're shooting 4K footage and you're shooting that every day like Linus Tech Tips or something, but geez. Well, you have to have a backup. Thorsomer. Should store your footage in that IBM bunker you showed us, yeah, in that recent video. Yes, the IBM bunker just down the road. I could rent storage space in the IBM bunker down the road and just put it all in there. Yep. Actually, I don't. Yeah, it'd be a monthly plan. I think it's like $400 a month or something. I could rent a server, you know, down in the IBM bunker. Yeah. Oh, the single shingle drives. I had one of the. Was it a shingle one that failed? I can't remember. I had a OneDrive in my NAS fail, and I don't remember if it was shingle or not shingle. But I think I did do a video on that. I'm still using H.264. None of this 265 rubbish. I find it doesn't make a huge difference. So I just, you know. What? They're building a launch complex, are they? It's a long way north. How long of a trip? Well, any launch complex in Australia is going to be incredibly far, as in it'd take me 3-4 days to drive there, at least. I use mostly unleaded solder, and I don't have a problem with it. Yeah, it's a weird phenomenon, but most people don't have to worry about it. I do have the drive stored in their original ESD packets just because that's what it came in. I'm not that fussed though. Hey, Kerry, what are your first steps in making, what are you holding up there? Ooh, vintage scope. Ooh, geez, that's like 500 kilohertz bandwidth. Am I right? Am I right? Any tips for a beginner electronics content creator like me, given that I'm into vintage gear, restorations, teardowns, etc. Just do stuff that you enjoy. Do what you enjoy and you'll find an audience. That will come across. Don't try and force yourself to do anything. Just, yeah, well, there's lots of tips, you know. Whether or not, the first thing is to enjoy what you're doing. And then that comes across. And then, like, if you're a YouTuber and you don't enjoy what you do, people can smell it. Just, yeah, this person's full of shit, you know. Like they're just doing it for the money or whatever. You can tell, right? So, yeah, no, if you're passionate, just share what you're passionate about. And if you find an audience, you find an audience. If you don't, you don't. I mean, it's, you know. Yeah, so, yeah, there's no real formula. Just, especially for niche stuff like this, the vintage repair stuff, I would just be, I would put effort from day one. I would put effort into editing the videos so that they're reasonably concise, not write script. Well, some people like writing scripts and doing them, but for maybe vintage teardowns and restorations and stuff, I don't know, choose a style. Like some of the, don't take my word for it, because, you know, Great Scott and Electro Boom and ones like that, right? They're hugely popular, and they do it using scripts. They write scripts, right? They polish scripts over like a week. They spend like a week on their script, and then they, you know, edit it, refine it, and get it right down. I can't do scripts. That's not my thing. I just waffle on. But I do put a lot more effort now into editing the videos. And I've done a video on my 2-step editing process now that I got. And yeah, I do at least a 2-step editing process now because I'm conscious of people's time. So I do try and, you know, you edit out the ums and ahs, you edit out any content that's not, although I do go on lots of tangents, and I find it hard to cut content because I think most of my content's relevant that I talk about. Most of the stuff that comes out of my mouth, I think is relevant, much to my detriment. But yeah, I do try and, you know, shaving a few minutes off a video here and there by a nice tight editing is worth the effort, especially if you're trying to build an audience, I think. Because there's so much other... See, because I built my channel. When I started my channel, there was no one else doing engineering videos, right? I was pretty much the only one. And so, yeah, there was nothing else to watch, right? But now there's hundreds and hundreds of other similar channels out there that people... you're competing for people's time. So, yeah. So be conscious of the edit. Just make sure you have good light. Make sure everything's framed. People, you know, there's some YouTubers who just don't frame stuff. You know, they're working on this thing and the frame's out here like this, and 80% of this thing is wasted. No, if you're talking about a thing, like if I'm talking about, you know, if I'm talking about these jacks here, right? Often, like I'll zoom the camera in to the jacks and I'll talk about the jacks, right? I'll go to the effort to reframe the shot. So yeah, framing's very important, and make sure you just get everything right in camera. That's the important thing. Your sound, everything. So you don't have to edit your sound. You shouldn't have to edit your sound. You shouldn't have to edit your white balance, your color, any of that stuff. You shouldn't do that. Shouldn't have to do that. So get all your lighting and your audio right in camera, and try and edit. Try and not waffle on, says the master of waffle. Yeah, because you are competing against people's time. I've got an established audience, so people will just watch me, but I am more conscious of people's time, so I really put a bit of effort into editing the videos. Yeah, I just don't care. I don't care about the Mac M1. I don't care about the Apple system. I'm not going to change over to an Apple system just because it's 10 times faster at doing the video rendering. I don't care. Video rendering means nothing to me. I just press go and I go off and do something else for 5 or 10 minutes while it renders. Whoop-de-doo. You know, okay. You know, it might have advantage to some people, but I'm not going to change my entire system for a Mac M1 just to do video editing. I don't see the point. No, there was no Geordie. There was no water ingress into the dungeon, as I call it now, not the bunker. The bunker's a separate thing. Dungeon. I've got 3 locations now. I've got the lab, the bunker, the dungeon. No, there's nothing there. Apparently, some people said that's only for the fire extinguishers. So when the fire extinguishers go off in there, like the fire hydrant things go off, then it can flood out. Oh, did I? Oh, Coco, I bought a shingled to replace a non-shingled one in your NAS. Did I? Oh, yeah, everyone crapped on about the speed or something. And there is no... That's bullshit. There is no reduction in speed or whatever. I don't know. I don't care. Yep. If you've got the room, an old HP Spectrum analyzer on eBay, but they're big bits of kit. You know, they're big, heavy bits of kit. But if you can get a cheap one, yeah, get one. A brand new Signal. I don't know. I haven't played with the new Signal Logic Analyzer. I don't know if it's any good. Maybe someone out there has done a review of it. Sharia, maybe. I don't know. Does software-defined radio in the new stuff have disadvantages? Yeah, I'm not really into software-defined radio. I'm not the guy to ask. It has advantages and disadvantages. Better catch up to the chat again. Oh man, Willie Fleet. You ever like reading the serviceman's logs from Electronics Australia? Yeah, I went through a phase. Oh man, you couldn't believe it. I went through a phase where I was so obsessed with the serviceman column, and I didn't, because I went back, like, because the local library had all the back issues, right? So the local uni library had all the back issues, right? So I went in there and I just sit there and read. I just sit in the library for hours reading the serviceman column of all the old magazines that I didn't have. I did eventually get the entire collection myself, but this was before I had the entire collection going back, because I only started collecting them in like the 1980 or something. So I went back to all the 70s serviceman columns and stuff. Yeah, yep. I used to love the serviceman column. Man, I went through a phase. Holy crap. Some of the old HP Agilent test gear is really good. Some of it even isn't surpassed these days. So, yeah. But they're big and they're old and they're clunky. But, yeah, they're pretty good. But then again, there's lots of impressive new stuff today. That's good bang per buck. Doing it live saves having to edit. Yeah, but, people's time is limited. People's time is limited. Look, I've got a couple of hundred people turning up to this live video, and this live video, once it's uploaded, it'll only get, 1,000 views tops, right? So, yeah, you are very limiting your market if you only do live streams. Yeah. It's also a thing I feel like people will go to the channels that have been around for years and hundreds of killer subscribers now. No, it depends on the content. If you produce, there's certainly room for new content. If people like your content, if you have your own style, if you have a unique way of presenting, or if you've got a real sexy voice like Big Clive, you'll do really well. But yeah, it's just potluck. You won't know unless you try it. But one thing that I didn't do that all of the YouTubers, the more recent YouTubers, have done, your Great Scotts and your Big Clives and your Electro Booms, which we didn't know back when I started. I didn't know this, right? Because nobody knew this, right? Is that you choose one specific style and you stick to it, right? You rigidly stick to that type of content, and then everyone who subscribes to your channel, you give them what they want every single time, right? Every time you watch a Big Clive video, you know exactly what you get. Every time you watch a Great Scott video, you know exactly what you're going to get. Every time you watch an Electro Boom video, you know exactly what you're going to get, right? That's why they have big subscriber to view ratios, whereas a channel like mine, you don't know what you're going to get, right? You might get a half-hour in-depth waffle on, or you might get, something else obscure, right? Tangent. Like, I just do so many different styles that, yeah, it's a lucky I still have an audience, right? That still watch me. Yeah. So yeah, stick to a style. Figure out a style that works and stick to it. Yeah. And then again, the disadvantage is that limits your channel. That limits what you can do on your channel, right? It's not like, those channels I just talked about, they can just go off and do interviews or something else. They just can't do, other stuff that they want to do because their audience expect one type of video from them, and that's it. Like occasionally they might be able to do a question and answers. Big Clive does his live streams every week or whatever. And yeah, and they have their little audiences watch those, but they can't just go out and do something else because they'll just go, everyone will just go, what's this? I didn't sign up for this. Whereas you sign up for my channel and you get what you get and you don't get upset. Yeah. Just do it. Start it, Kerry. Just seriously, just do it, see how it works. Your first couple of, you can afford to experiment in your first couple of videos and see what, get audience feedback and stuff. and see what works. But once you figure out a thing that works for you, that you like producing, a style that you like making, then, and people are responding to that, then stick with it. You know, as in, like, stick to the same length every time, for example. You know, if you go watch a Great Scott video, right, you know they're, what, 8 to 12 minutes long or something like that, right? They're all exactly the same length. They're all highly polished. They're all highly scripted. They all in the same style with that, you know, he does the hand-drawn schematic thing with the voiceover thing, right? It's all the same. It's all the same every time. That's why they have larger audiences than me. Because they find a more consistent audience. Building a community around your channel, yeah, highly recommended. Yes, I've got the EEEVBlog forum, but, you know, all the young kiddies do the Discord thing. Yeah, or there's others. There's other ways to build a community. And yes, by all means, have a live show, although a lot of all your smart YouTubers will set up a second channel to do your live shows. So I'd recommend not doing live shows on your main channel until you're established. And then once you're established, set up a second channel to do live streams. Because the live streams hinder the algorithmic performance of your channel. So you don't want live streams on your main channel. That's why I do live streams on my second channel here, because I don't care too much about my second channel, where it's ranked and stuff like that. So, yep. You said bunker. Is that a fallout bunker? Not technically, but it is underground. So I guess it's bunkery. It's bunker-like. I could use it as a fallout shelter. But, yeah, no. We don't have fallout shelters here in Australia. Wasn't really a thing. Yeah, there you go. Fran nails it. First rule of being a YouTube creator is that you have to love it. If you don't love it, it's gonna come across. People can smell it a mile away. People can smell non-genuine YouTubers a mile away. And yeah. Ugh. Yeah, Fran's new place is looking good. I'm really liking the look, Fran. Yeah, Pease's porridge is great. Or was great. Rip Bob Pease. I have a video for everything, Enrique. Hold on to your hat. Just for you, Enrique. I made a video just for you. There you go. Come on. StreamYard. There we go. Posted. Please, can someone inform cool music toys, cool music to my ears? Can someone please tell him? It's against my policy. Is there a link to the serviceman column? No, you would have to look at you'd have to go to archive.org and search for the Electronics Australia, and you'd have to, you know, way back. I think they stopped it. Did they go until the end? I don't think there was a serviceman column towards the end, the demise of EA. But yeah, like back in the 80s, the serviceman column. Yep, you would have to actually look through the entire magazine, and somewhere in the magazine is the serviceman column. It's only like a page or two. And the serviceman, I don't think we ever found out who the serviceman was, did we? I don't know. I don't know if they were, yeah, I don't think, because they didn't have a name on it. It was just the serviceman. It might have been multiple people over the years. Does anyone know? I changed the shirt. Yes, I changed the shirt just for you, the Sphere. I've ditched the Ghostbusters shirt today. I might have to hit, speaking of that, I might have to hit Keysight up for another high-end scope soon, for a loaner. Because something might be happening with another YouTuber. Let's just say that. Hello from North Carolina. I don't think he's caught on yet, guys. I don't think he's caught on yet. Oh boy. Actually, it's not getting that warm in here today. It is cooler outside. You'll know I have changed. I have changed into the jeans. You'll notice. Changed into the jeans now. Haven't worn jeans for like 3-4 months. It's been summer. Technically, I just realised, oh, it's not summer anymore. And it just got a bit cold the other day. You know, it wasn't the warmest thing. I should probably start wearing jeans again. So, yeah. Okay, I'm catching up on the chat. Catching up on the chat. Nope, I will never do a collaboration with Naomi. You got a 50 gig HP in your lounge room. Nice. Who'd you kill to get that? How did I make the outro animation? I don't know. Somebody made it for me. A viewer just made it and sent it to me. Said I could use it. I think I paid him for it technically. In the end, yeah, I don't know. But there's people you can hire. You can just go to Fiverr.com or something like that, and there's tons of animators on there, isn't there? That you can just hire them to make an intro for it, like a 5-second intro or outro video for you. You just tell them what you want, and like it's cheap as. So you pay like 5 different people and you get 5 different things, and you just choose the one you like. Is there a neon shortage? Is there? Didn't know. Is analog itself going to Dodo? No, I don't think so. No, there's new people coming along that are taking it up, and it's changing, you know. That was a bargain. The Altium building, that was a bargain. No, I'm not wearing thongs. Got shoes on. Pretty rare. Pretty rare in the lab. Have I given up Vegas? No, I still use Vegas for making thumbnails and stuff. And for the occasional video that I haven't learned how to do something in Blackmagic yet. So yeah, I still use Vegas and DaVinci Resolve. But for most of the videos you see, they are edited using DaVinci Resolve now. So, oh, really, Mike? Is that it? UK produces 50% of the world's neon. Okay, right. Wow, there you go. Yeah, I heard they did have lots of resources in their country. Didn't know. Okay, right, neon. There you go. No, I don't read this chat. Oh, I got my compulsive yawn again. Can't help it. Would love to see a loudspeaker design video. I have no interest in loudspeaker design. I don't know. Your Thiel small parameters and stuff like that. I don't know. Although, I'm not going to say I have no interest in... I do like speakers. I don't know. Yeah, you know, it'd be a lot of effort, right? I actually do like woodworking, so maybe I could, you know, make my own cabinet, design it, Thiel small parameters, design a little amp for it, you know, design like an active speaker or something. But I don't know, it wouldn't turn out that. It'd be pretty crude, I'd say. I don't know. Ukraine probably has a large portion of the stock of Nixie tubes as well. Oh no, all those Geiger counter designs. Mighty Ohm screwed. Mighty Ohm's out of business. He's looking for a job now. Poor old Mighty Ohm. Yep. Sanction Russia so they can only use 550 Dymo printers. Cool. Got to eat pizza now. I will have burger and chips today. I think burger and chips. I got 15 minutes left. Got 15 minutes left. I'm being proactive and I'm going to limit myself to 2 hours today. So if you've got any questions, ask them now. Buy that €10,000 LAN cable. Yeah, that'll make everything sound better. That's kind of a hard one. Adagita. Dave, just wondering what's the actual accuracy in decimal places that matter when you're reading a meter? It depends on what you're doing. Like, you know, for most tasks, just your regular 0.5%. just your regular, 5,000 count, 3.5 digit, 0.5% meter is just, it's going to work just fine. Not often do you have to go beyond like 0.5%. That's why if you've got a good meter that's like 0.1% or 0.25 or something, that'll do almost everything you need. Like it's only unless you're working on really precision stuff, would you need like your 0.05% meter? Like having a nice 0.0, like having a good, 50,000 count, 4.5 digit 0.05% meter is nice. I would, a good lab should have one. But yeah, you don't really, for most general purpose stuff, you just don't have to. It's the same thing for scopes. Like scopes aren't that accurate, right? Scopes are their vertical accuracy, 3%. A good one will be 2%, 1.5 maybe at best. And they're not that great, but they don't have to be because that's not the intention. So yeah, but like, yeah. So I'd say, yeah, just your regular meter is fine. You don't really, really like. It's also nice to have like a 6.5 digit meter just to get the resolution. I've done a video on resolution versus accuracy. They're a really old one, like video 50 or something. Yeah, so they're nice to have, but everyday use. Like I just don't use my bench meters every day. I just use a regular, my just my BM235 or my BM, like even something like a BM786. Like that's a 50,000 count meter, 0.05%. It's more than accurate for almost everything you want to do. Like, and it's not an expensive $150 class meter, really. Yeah. There's no plans, but if it happens, it happens. Like if that's how all my videos happen. I get I'm excited about something, and if it happens to be a project, then I might shoot a multi-part series on it. Yeah. So it just depends on whims. I don't have a plan to like, next month I'm going to do a multi-part design series. It's like, it just happens, bam. Like I don't know what video I'm making tomorrow. I got no plan. I got no idea. Yeah. Yep. That's how it happens. Much to my own detriment, I think. Someone's in the corridor. Building's not empty. Been stalked. A koala burger. Gonna have a koala burger for lunch. We do eat our coat of arms. We're the only country in the world that eats our coat of arms, the kangaroo and the emu. We do eat kangaroo, and some people eat kangaroo here. Emu, it's pretty rare for someone to eat emu here, but technically we eat our coat of arms. All right? We don't eat the koalas, though. I don't think there's any good meat in the koalas. Yes, she's got tennis again today, and she just informed me last night that next week, I think, I won't be able to do the live show on a Saturday because she has 2 tennis tournaments on the Saturday because they have to catch up for all the ones that have been cancelled due to the rain. So, no, I don't have my X-ray license yet. You only need precision meters to design other precision instruments. Yeah. There's a lot of truth in that. Yeah. Yeah, like it applies to digital scopes. Yeah. Yes. Yep, same thing. A modern digital scope, the front end, go and read it. It's in the data sheet. Go and read it. Go and read the vertical specifications for any modern digital oscilloscope. You can pay 50 grand for a digital oscilloscope. It's still only going to be 2% accurate on the vertical front end. Like, they just don't care. No, I've never worked at Telectronics or with any of their staff. No, who's Telectronics? Name rings a bell. You'd have to remind me. Yeah, I'm not going to go there, Alan. I don't want to do the whole Ukraine thing. I just don't want to. It's just my advice is don't believe anything. Simply do not, regardless of which side. Like, it doesn't matter. Just don't believe anything you hear. Don't believe any of it. It's bullshit all the way down. It's turtles all the way down. It's bullshit all the way. When it comes to media, it's bullshit all the way down. When it comes to what you're being fed, it's bullshit all the way down. Just assume everything's bullshit unless you verify otherwise. No, I have no interest in tube amps. That just wasn't my thing. I come from a pre-tube era, of course. I come from the transistor era. I'm not that old. But yeah, no, I never had an interest in tubes. As we call them here, tubes. Tubes, not tubes, tubes. See ya, VK4KWS. Yeah, I'm not really the really high precision meters. Some people are doing those on the EEVBlog forum. Like, there's a whole volt nut section of the forum. Oh my god. If you're into the volt nut stuff, if you're not on the EEVBlog forum, if you're into your precision instruments, oh man, there's the place to be. I have no idea about the pine sill soldering iron. Sorry, no idea. Never heard of it. Ah, right, there you go. That's why you... I assume they have the good dumpster diving shit there. They have the good shit in the dumpster at Electrical Standards Lab. Yeah, if I get off my ass, yes, I do. I constantly think about it. Yep. Is the answer to that. Yep. Whether or not they're on the amp hour or whether or not they're actually on the EEVBlog channel. They'd only end up on the EEVBlog channel if I shoot a video version. If I shoot a video, of course, you know, the Electronics Engineering video blog. So yeah, if I shoot a video version, then it'll go on my channel. But generally, I'm only going to do the interview guest things for the amp hour. Yep. Only got a couple of minutes left, then I'm gone. High current side sensing. Yeah. Yep. That'd be interesting. You eat beaver. Rory eats beaver. I'll go for a pulled platypus burger, please. What's kangaroo taste like? It's very tasteless, actually. It's just bland and tough, and it's quite hard to cook. It's very, kangaroo is very difficult meat to cook, and yeah, it doesn't. We got to say it's just the most tasteless meat I've ever had, I think. In Soviet Australia, koala eats you. I love the good in Soviet Russia jokes. You think you can get kangaroo meat? You used to be able to get it in Sweden. Okay, you do MCS, you do loudspeaker design. Yeah, I'd have to go back into the Thiel small parameters. Are they still a thing? Do people still use Thiel small parameters to design speakers? Or do you just whack it into software? I assume there's like just software now that just does it, right? You don't have to run the Phi or small equations and things. Nope, I wasn't caught up on the chat. Kangaroo is very rubbery. Yeah. Yeah. I won't get my ham radio license. I have no interest in ham radio, really. I was supposed to. I did have it teed up. I had approval from Grant Petty at Blackmagic Design that he was going to come and do an interview. He was going to do an amp hour thing. And then, yeah, so I've got to follow up on that. But he said yes through a guy I was talking to there. I didn't speak to him directly, but yeah, he said he'd come on the show. I'm sure he's a very busy guy, but yeah, Grant Petty. I'll have to follow up. Blackmagic, yep. Unfortunately, they're in Melbourne, so if I want to, well, I don't think I'll get a tour of the lab. Apparently, they're very secretive. They're very secretive, so I doubt I'd get a tour of. I've had people in the know tell me there's no way I'm getting a tour of the lab. But Grant Petty has agreed to come on the amp hour. That was last year. That was towards late last year. Yeah. I haven't heard from Andy from Photonic Induction lately. I assume he's fine. Anyway, I better go, I think. How do I keep my mirrors clean on my Mantiscope? I don't really. The mirrors don't get dust. I do have a protective cap on it. I've got one of those protective caps just in case I, bump the thing on it. I don't want to, ruin a couple $100 lens. So yeah, I've got a protective cap. I don't have a problem with dust. I don't really have a problem. Right, so I'd be a total noob, would I, if I used Phi or small parameters to design my speakers? I'd be a total noob. Dave's doing beginner videos with his Phi or small parameters. Yeah, I think I'll email them today. I think I'll email BYD and say, yeah, let's do something on the battery system. Yeah. Anyway, yep. Thanks, everyone. Yeah, the Mantis is fairly sealed against dust. Yeah, occasionally, it doesn't even get into the hood. It gets on top. The dust gets on top, but I've never had it get into the lens, and certainly not inside. Yeah, as Mike said, it's sealed. It's pretty well sealed. Yeah. Anyway, thanks everyone. I'm off. Oh. And thanks everyone over on Odysee as well for joining in. Cool. Catch you next time.